The worn velvet of Grandma Elara's favorite armchair sighed as she sank into it, a familiar sound in the quiet twilight of her cottage moonlight, softened by the lace curtains she'd made decades ago, spilled onto the magnificent quilt draped across her lap. The quilt known simply as Stitches in Time, its vibrant patches, faded in places but still bursting with stories, felt warm beneath her fingers tonight. She traced a square of deep blue calico, remembering the tiny hands that had helped sew it, hands belonging to her granddaughter, Lily, who now sat wide-eyed on the rug at her feet, just as she had done countless nights before. The fire crackled softly, painting dancing shadows on the walls lined with shelves overflowing with jars of buttons and spools of thread in every conceivable color. "Tell me about this one again, Grandma?" Lily whispered, her small finger gently touching the same blue square. Elara smiled, the lines around her eyes deepening like well-loved seams. "Ah, the sailor sky," she murmured, her voice warm and textured like the quilt itself. "That was your great-uncle Finnero's work shirt. He was just a young lad, barely older than you are now, when he went off to see his mama. My dear friend Agnes was frantic with worry. Every stitch she sewed into this patch was a prayer carried on the salty wind, begging the waves to bring her boy safely home." Elara paused, her gaze distant, seeing not the cozy room but a windswept harbor. She worked on it every single evening, her needle flashing in the lamplight, until finally, months later, Finn walked back up the lane, sunburnt and grinning, with tales of dolphins and distant shores. Lily sighed contentedly, snuggling deeper into her own small blanket. "And the gold one? The shiny bit?" Elara's fingers drifted to a small, intricate piece of faded gold brocade. "That, my little sparrow, is a piece of my own wedding gown." A soft blush, unseen in the firelight, touched her cheeks. "Oh, the dreams stitched into that scrap. Nerves like fluttering moths and a joy so bright it felt like holding sunshine. Your grandpa Ben, bless his soul, was so handsome and so terribly clumsy. He nearly tore the whole skirt tripping over his own feet trying to lead the first dance." Lily giggled, the sound like tiny bells. "But we danced anyway," Elara continued, her voice softening, "and every step felt like weaving our lives together, thread by golden thread. This little piece holds all that magic, all that promise." Grandma Elara didn't just tell stories. She taught them through the language of needle and thread. Patiently, she guided Lily's small fingers, showing her how to make tiny, even stitches, how to knot the thread securely, how to choose colors that sang together. "See, Lily," she'd explain, her own needle darting with practiced ease, "each stitch is a moment. Some are neat and strong, like happy days. Others might be a little crooked, like times we stumble. But they all hold the fabric together. They all matter." Lily concentrated fiercely, her tongue peeking out, determined to make her stitches worthy of the great tapestry. The quilt grew slowly, square by precious square, each one a shared memory, a shared breath. In the quiet room one rainy afternoon, as Lily helped sort through an old trunk smelling faintly of cedar and forgotten summers, she discovered a small, hidden pocket sewn into the quilt's backing. Inside, carefully folded, was a fragile piece of linen handkerchief, yellowed with age and embroidered with a single, slightly lopsided daisy. Elara's breath caught when she saw it. "Oh," she whispered, tears glistening in her eyes. "My little sister, Clara." She was sickly, spent most days in bed. "She stitched this daisy for me when I was feeling poorly myself. A little sunshine on cloth. She didn't get better." Elara touched the delicate stitches with infinite tenderness. "I tucked it away, a piece of her courage, her kindness. It's the quietest square, Lily, but perhaps the strongest love. Like that, it never truly fades. It's stitched right into the soul. Years flowed like thread through a needle's eye." Lily grew taller, her stitches becoming as confident and strong as her grandmother's once were. The quilt, Stitches in Time, became their shared history, a tangible map of love, loss, adventure, and quiet moments. They added squares for Lily's first lost tooth, a tiny white felt square, her school graduation, a snippet of her graduation gown ribbon, and even a piece of the curtain fabric from the cottage window where they'd spent so many hours sewing and talking. It was more than bedding. It was a living archive, heavy with warmth and whispered secrets, a fortress woven from generations. The day the cottage felt too quiet, the armchair achingly empty, Lily wrapped herself tightly in Stitches in Time. The familiar textures, the rough denim of Grandpa Ben's overalls, the smooth satin of the wedding brocade, the soft flannel of Uncle Finn's shirt. Pressed against her cheek she traced the tiny, perfect stitches Grandma Elara had made and her own sometimes wobbly beginner's attempt. She found the hidden daisy square and held it close in that embrace of cloth and memory. The profound silence wasn't empty, it was filled with the echo of patient instructions, the ghost of shared laughter, the enduring presence of love meticulously sewn into every fiber. The quilt held her, just as her grandmother always had. Now, years later, Lily sits in her own softly lit room, her own child, eyes wide with sleepy curiosity, snuggles close as she spreads the magnificent, slightly heavier quilt over their laps. "This," Lily whispers, her voice thick with the love of generations, "is stitches in time." Her fingers glide over the familiar landscape of patches. This blue sky belonged to a brave sailor. This golden piece held a beautiful wedding dance. And this little white flower, she touches the fragile daisy square with reverence, was stitched with pure sunshine by someone very special. As her child's breathing slows, deepening into sleep, Lily feels the quiet hum of connection. The needle may rest, the hands that guided it may be still, but the warmth, the stories, the unbreakable thread of love, stitched patiently, moment by moment, across the fabric of time, wraps around them both. A timeless embrace in the quiet night.